Hey everybody, welcome back to the Three Star Podcast. It's three amigos tonight. Apparently, we got one man short, but that's okay. We're going to go over tonight's Monday Night Raw, the week of WrestleMania, and we're going to run through the card real quick here, and we're just going to let you know what happened throughout the show. We're going to give you our thoughts on it. All right, the show started off with Drew McIntyre coming down to the ring. We saw a clip of Baron Corbin attacking him last week. Drew McIntyre cut this promo. He got a little bit choked up as he talked about the conversations he had with his mother over the years about his career and all the sacrifices he had to make. Bobby Lashley then come out with MVP to cut his promo short. Lashley called McIntyre a great champion, but said his time was over, and McIntyre tried to provoke a fight, but MVP told him he would have to wait until Saturday. King Corbin then joined the party and said he was going to stop Drew McIntyre from ever making it to WrestleMania. I'll start here. I thought the promo actually from Drew McIntyre was pretty good. He had a lot of emotion in it. I cannot get into King Corbin.
No.
Corbin is a good talent, but the King gimmick gets run its course. I am sick of it.
Yeah, but where do you go from here, though? You can't go back to the lone wolf situation.
That's true. I mean, I really don't know what you do.
But I think, though, the King, it worked for Booker T when Booker T did it, when, King Booker was a thing.
And yeah, but that was Booker T, though. Corbin has, no charisma.
But he's taking that gimmick, that persona, King, and kind of turned it and kind of mixed it, I guess, with his, lone wolf persona as well. And it's the best that he's done out of NXT with this gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's not terrible, but
I just think it's gone on too long. But I understand Booker had it for a long time, but for some reason Booker T and some of these other people who've had the King gimmick have made it work better. And I know he's not the biggest part of this segment, but I don't know. Just they brought him over from SmackDown. I guess they had nothing else better for him to do or whatever, and he got in the main event tonight. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I do think this promo segment was good for the build to WrestleMania's match. And they did confirm before this promo started that it will main event WrestleMania. So I'm assuming it will be the final match on night one.
Yeah.
So which is fine. Like we talked about, it was either that or Sasha and Belair. And I don't know where they're going to slot it. Maybe that opens the show Saturday. But
yeah. But it kind of puts a damper on what Tony was saying that they should do, or would be nice to do, have Drew and Lashley first and give the women that spotlight. But I'm sure their match will still be great. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine.
You said they're gonna call it that the main event for night one.
They called it the main event for night one tonight, or they said the main event of WrestleMania. So, but since it's on Saturday, I'm guessing they mean Saturday night. But
we know how WWE likes to play loose with that term main event.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Because they had what was the I can't remember the pay-per-view, but the first match they had, it was AJ, Dean, and John, and they called that the main event. So
yeah, it's like they have, like they used to tell CM Punk, there's many main events at WrestleMania, but he wanted to be the main event, and there is a difference. But yeah, so anyway, I did find it funny too that by the end of this night, our show last night's already kind of obsolete because they changed the WrestleMania card with a couple matches. And of course,
we'll talk about that part when we get to it.
Right, and then of course, we reported yesterday that the Hall of Fame was going to be Monday and Friday. Apparently, they're going to just shoot it and air it on Tuesday, which is fine. We'll probably cover that too. But we did kind of. It was reported, I think, last week that they were going to splice it with Raw and SmackDown, but I guess they changed their mind. All right, the first match of the night was actually a rematch from last week, featuring AJ Styles taking on Xavier Woods. Almost and Kofi Kingston were there to support their partners. Styles struck first with a few punches and a hip toss, and Styles locked Woods.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Before you get into this match,
okay,
I want to talk about the segment that preempted this with the New Day.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I skipped that part.
So here's my thing. First of all, their gear was dope. I love the Scorpion and Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat gear. That was dope. And I believe Riddle's was supposed to be a play on Goku because he made the reference of the 9,000.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
But then it went from that to them making marijuana innuendo, like comments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
I think Riddle was high. Well, at least most weeks he probably is, or it seems like
He
he
said
to get through Raw, you kind of have to be.
is.
We're
Agreed.
drunk.
But like I'm listening to this because like I started watching the first half of it on my phone because I had to go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
So this is happening as I'm coming in the house with groceries, and legitimately I go, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, like really? And you know, Miranda goes, "Well, what's up?" So I explained the whole thing to her, and she hasn't watched Raw in.
Don't blame her.
But she legitimately goes, "I was like, yes, that's what this segment was," and it wasn't that it wasn't funny, first of all, but it's like if you're how can I put this? If you're trying to lean on the side of we're trying to do this for children and be more PC,
Yeah.
who's not picking up on that?
Well, I mean, it was subtle enough, I think.
Subtle my ass. He literally said
enough. Well, I'm not saying it was real subtle.
He said that Sheamus was big and stinky, if you know what I mean. And then he said Ali was sticky, and I might have to put him in the grinder and grind him up. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I see your point.
I mean, kids aren't probably going to get that, but the adults will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, that's what we doing out
and,
here.
but to be honest, how many movies
exactly
you go back and watch a movie 20 years after you were young, and you're like, wow, that was way more adult than I thought it would be. So I guess you could chalk this up to something like that. But anyway, getting into the match, Styles locked Woods into the calf crusher, but he was distracted when Kofi Kingston threw a microphone at Almost, which he might as well have been throwing that thing at a brick wall, because that thing fell flat to the ground and snapped in half, which was probably more the floor.
Bounced.
He's a big dude, though, man.
But you know what? The replays and stuff from last week where he was getting physical, he's definitely got a little more mobility than Great Khali or whatever. So I think this...
I think a brick wall has more mobility than Khali did.
Well,
right. Hall of Fame. You better put some respect on his name. A Hall of Famer right there.
I don't give two shits.
But here's the thing. A segment is one thing. It's another to be in the match. So, like, I'm interested to see how he actually moves. And I don't expect him to be throwing drop kicks. And that's not his wheelhouse. I don't expect him to be, agile. Because it's not...
I'm not expecting Hanson to get out there.
No. But I'm... Yeah, for a dude his size that moves the way he does, yeah. But I think he'll be fine. Yeah. I'm not saying...
I think he'll do good. I think AJ is going to be in most of the match in ring.
And the New Day is good enough to carry the rest of it as well. So
yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought about the same thing about Ronda. We never seen her wrestle, and then surprisingly enough, she was really good.
Yeah, she surprised the crap out of me. I mean,
the fact that he's been there that long and he's been in the system, he's been down in NXT at the Performance Center and all that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
He may surprise us all.
Bound to break through on him.
Well, this microphone little deal they had going on ended up causing the distraction, which allowed Xavier Woods to roll AJ Styles up for the pin. The New Day celebrated as their challengers looked on. I get it's okay to do, but I really am getting sick and tired of the distraction finishes in WWE.
I'm getting tired of distraction finishes in wrestling.
In general,
period.
Agreed, right. In this case, I think it does make some sense to do with maybe, because we've never seen Almas and AJ team up, so are they as in sync as the New Day are? So for that, I get it. But a lot of times, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of time distraction finishes happen. It's like the music hits, and then you immediately stare at the stage.
You just lose all sense of where the hell you were at.
Like, you're in a match, my man. Like,
you in the middle of the match, man. Focus.
Whoever's coming down, they still got to come down. You know what I'm saying? Like, deal with your immediate situation and then worry about that. Distraction finishes to me are when the person isn't out there are just weird.
Yeah,
because it's like, why am I?
Go ahead.
Why am I staring at a nothingness after 2 seconds and you see no one on that stage,
Mm-hmm.
they're probably behind you. Let's be honest.
Yeah. The whole music distraction is ridiculous. Like, how
Yeah.
dumb are you? Like,
And then
and it's usually the
roll-up to
baby
happen.
faces.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's the roll up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired of roll up finishes as well. If someone's distracted, this is your perfect opportunity when they turn around to hit them with something devastating. Then go for the cover.
Yeah.
That's a real distraction finish for me personally.
Mhm.
The roll up,
Yeah.
it's just like you see it too much in wrestling.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's hilarious
wrestling-
when it happens to Corbin, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's his
Yeah.
biggest weakness.
And again,
Yeah.
rippers my hat here. That one of the things I do like about AEW is they rarely do that. It's always straight
But
up.
they got a ton of roll up finishes. Though.
They do, but I'm just saying usually it's straight up winner or loser. There's no distractions. So plus for that book. But yeah, but anyway. This recap I'm reading doesn't seem to have a lot of the backstage segments. But I do believe this is the point where Bad Bunny rolled up in his Bugatti.
Yeah. First of all, that's an expensive car.
A beautiful car, right?
Yeah.
But
That
so,
is, yeah.
but and we'll get more into that here in a minute. We'll just have to remember to add it because I don't know if they're going to discuss it here. The next match was Braun Strowman versus Elias and Jackson Riker.
You said Ryder.
Yeah. Before this match started, Braun Strowman delivered a passionate promo. And I'm going to say this: I think that's his best promo he's ever cut.
Yeah. Cool. But
Right.
you can't sit here and say you've been bullied and then turn around to bully somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're going for,
Mhm.
but it's hard to say you have sympathy for Braun Strowman against Shane when you look at the two of them side by side. Who do you feel bad for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
no one.
The audience.
First of all, they're
Yes.
grown men. They're grown men. Right?
They
They're
chose this
talking about
business. So
realistically, would you bully Braun Strowman? Do you think you could bully Braun Strowman?
Not now, especially. I mean, that dude is more jacked.
no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, to go this route of just being bullied by somebody, and this is your story here, it's weak.
Wait, are they saying
me-
Shane's bullying Braun?
Yeah.
He's been calling him stupid. They did the thing where he had him do like these all kind of like weird tasks. Was it Shane that got covered in slime or was it Braun? I can't
It
remember.
It was
Braun.
Braun. Yeah. Shane did the covering.
Like some Nickelodeon.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was the night they had like the game shows or the game night. They had a bunch of weird stuff on that show. This Brawl was way better than last week's.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
all things considered.
In the same vein as we can
So
sit here
low bar.
and we talk about
Yeah.
all this stuff, whatever. Shane's music hit, people go crazy.
Yeah.
It is
it-
what it is.
Yeah.
It's just because
So,
he's,
I mean,
he's
that's
yeah,
just
Attitude Era
it's the
stuff.
same thing. You could talk all this crap about Vince you want. You hear that no chance, you lose your mind.
Mhm. And I'll say
You know what I
this
mean?
before we get back to the results of this match real quick here. If WrestleMania in this cage match, I don't know if they're going to do this, but I saw a thing on Twitter that would I'd probably pop a little bit, would be if somehow, because we all know people are going to get involved in the cage match, even though
For
it's
sure.
designed to keep people out.
Mhm.
WWE will not allow that to stay. If somehow Shane McMahon recruits the old Main Street Posse, I'll probably
Oh, man.
pop a little bit. I'm not going to lie. The whole
Yes.
the sweater vests and the whole 9 yards.
Yo,
I mean, I'd probably.
that'd be-
I don't know if they will,
that'd
but
be-
that would be my dream booking scenario.
I
Of
would
this.
get I get my chuckles in on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still probably gonna be Strowman in a
Yeah.
walk. But yeah, in this match, Strowman,
Again,
just destroyed, Jackson Riker and Elias, and I did find it funny though.
that's why it's like partly hard to believe
Yeah,
that he's being bullied
bullied.
Yeah.
It's just because
when
he's
he
just
literally
stupid.
beat 2 grown men up.
Yeah. And if he thinks no one's getting involved in this cage match, he is just stupid.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Riker's not small either. So.
no, which I thought was funny when I don't know if you caught this, but when Braun Strowman covered both men, he was trying to turn Jackson Riker over, and what he did, he literally put his head right in Elias's crotch.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, all right,
No.
yeah, take that.
It's a bully tactic, man.
Mhm.
Again, I don't know where this recap is going with it, but let's go ahead and just talk about The Miz
Yo,
and
you are
Morrison.
frozen with this goofy smile on your face. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Hopefully,
Like you like.
hopefully it'll get better. But it's good on my end, so the
Hopefully.
recording will look good. All right, so
That's all that counts. I guess.
that's all that matters. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Miz and Morrison wiping or brushing paint all over the Bugatti.
Yo, like
Crucify that man.
Washable paint or not?
Yeah,
hot boy.
that's the one thing that really bugged. Which to me, it's like, why don't you just pour the bucket on there?
Yeah,
But two, it's clearly, you just take a hose to it, it's going to come right off. Which I get. You're not going to put real paint on it, clearly. But
they did in the past either with what JBL's limo.
yeah.
Who I think Edge took some shit to Del Rio's cars.
I mean, we've come a long way from pouring concrete in Vince McMahon's convertible.
Which
That too.
Or Corvette.
fun fact,
Corvette.
he bought that car strictly to do that.
Yeah, so
Like that's insanity. He spent how much was it?
not much for him.
Oh no, but it was back then it was a new Corvette, so it wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
at the time. Yeah.
He spent a lot of money on that car
Mhm.
just to get cement poured in. Again, a Bugatti,
Yeah.
washable paint or not, and it was white, and they used red paint.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Hopefully that doesn't stain at all. I felt more awful for that car than I did for Bad Bunny when he took that beat down.
Yo,
because
I will say this though, it looked like they were gonna throw him into that Bugatti, but at the last second they were like, whoa, and
Yeah.
then
But I'll say
moved to
this.
the other car.
And I'll say this, since this is part of the backstage stuff that I don't think this thing covers. That beatdown that Miz gave him, I thought that was actually well done.
Yo, he took it like a champ.
And when Miz came in from behind, he hit him with that stiff shot in the back of the neck. I'm like, that's the receipt from punching me in the mouth. Maybe.
He popped his ass.
I mean, he took a shot.
He popped his ass.
Part of me was like, where the hell is Damian Priest? But he showed up after the fact. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was good build though, and since they announced it, I think afterwards, they did make that match a tag match that we thought, which good move.
Yes,
Yeah.
but hear me out.
Mhm.
Originally, it was a tag match,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if
And
they ever
then-
announced it, but that was the rumor. It was supposed to be, and then they changed it. And, yeah.
To a singles match,
Mhm.
and then now they went back to a tag match, which I would have preferred a tag match anyway, because the whole point here too, not to get lost here, is Bad Bunny is not your wrestler. Damian Priest is.
Mhm.
Yes.
But this whole thing has morphed around Bad Bunny.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Priest is taking a secondary seat in a situation that should be used to elevate him.
Yeah. And I don't know.
That's usually how it's always been done. Like the wrestler would be the one the focus is on, and then they would bring in the celebrity to help them.
Right. I mean, obviously, I think putting him in this, both him and Morrison is going to make the match better. Because I don't know. Maybe WWE feels like Bad Bunny isn't ready to do it on a singles match, but I know he's been training. But
He'll get in that ring for. I believe he'll be in there for a healthy chunk.
And now I agree with you, Brandon. Like your prediction, last night when you said Miz is taking the pin from Bad Bunny now. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean that makes the most logical sense. All right. Next match that happened was Ossica and Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Basler and Nia Jax. There was a lot of, can they coexist? Which to me is my biggest problem with this match and this feud, because Smackdown they had Sasha and Bianca Belair team up to face the champions. Can they coexist? Then you had Finn Balor and Karrion Kross teaming up. Can they coexist? It is lazy booking, lazy writing, and you got the exact same thing going on here on Raw with Asuka and Rhea Ripley.
I will say Rhea Ripley and Asuka, that was persistent throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. There never was a moment where they actually coexisted.
Yeah, they didn't really try to, or did they?
No.
I mean, they were making tags by hitting each other in the head.
But at the end, that's what you want. You don't want to be cohesive. I'm sorry. I smacked my mic on that. But you don't want to be cohesive against someone you're wrestling at WrestleMania for their title. Mm-hmm. In no way, shape, or form, if I'm partnered with a person that is actively trying to take my title off me, on the biggest stage of them all, are we just gonna be friends because we're doing a match together?
Right.
Or,
That,
you know what I'm saying?
and when I say are they coexisting, it's not me saying it. The commentary constantly says that about when they team these guys up like this.
Mhm.
Can they coexist? It's like the storyline they want to tell. We all know they won't, nor do we want them to. It's just, I don't know. To me, it was just
But
like...
it made, to me, in this instance, it made sense to question that.
Yeah.
And they did not. They did not whatsoever. I mean...
I liked how Rhea just basically turned on her, and I'm like,
yeah,
good.
But it was from the jump, though. It was,
yeah.
It wasn't like a spur of the moment situation. No, it was from the start of them coming out to the bell ring and to the end bell. Like, there was never a moment where they were like, "Oh, let's do this together, and then we'll worry about us later." Like in the sense of Sasha and
Bianca.
And it's like, why though?
It also screams a little bit to WWE's inability to book baby faces very well, because Asuka again kind of looks stupid, but
she's crazy. Again, they haven't really been able to book a baby face.
Yeah, they have a hard time with it. They can book heels pretty well, but whatever it is, the baby faces.
And then again, I had this discussion with my mother-in-law and Miranda as to why I was watching it, because I was just getting mad. And I go, it used to be because stories, like it was entertaining. To say they don't know how to book baby faces, bullshit, because they used to.
I mean, I think they can when they try, like Daniel Bryan a few years ago. Obviously, granted, a lot of that the fans willed that to happen.
Push along,
but
it wouldn't have happened no matter how hard you cheered for it if they didn't want it to happen.
At some point, I think they realized it was not going to go well if they didn't do it, and yeah.
But people, and we say that, but people still would have tuned into the shit.
Yeah, they just might have booed it out of the building, which I know Vince sometimes don't care as long as he gets the reaction, like David said last night.
So he doesn't care.
But at WrestleMania, you were going to have 60-some thousand fans booing the main event, and so I get that.
But like, so in Asuka's sense, she's like one of those. It's like she's never really got a fair shake at the whole thing, which is crazy to me. Talent-wise, she is miles above a lot of the girls, and I'm not taking anything away from any of those women. I'm not saying those women are shit, but comparatively, and you go down the list, there's not many who are there where
on Asuka's level,
right?
Yeah.
Even though to me, Asuka's not been the same on the main roster, but
a lot of them are, and we can debate that all day. A lot of them aren't, and a lot of that does, with how they run things on main roster. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's the same added if you go from watching a guy in college football, then he makes it to the pros, and like, man, you are shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hello, Ryan Leaf. Sorry, I'm a Colts fan.
Jamarcus Russell.
They took Peyton Manning. I'm gonna call that one out.
Jamarcus Russell is another instance of that.
Again, another backstage segment that did catch my eye, but stemming from this Asuka Rhea Ripley thing, was now WWE has added a tag team turmoil. I think they said the Saturday, with the ladies earning a title shot on Sunday. I can't remember I think it was like the Riot Squad, Mandy and Dana. Lana and Naomi. There's one other one.
No, there's Tamina and Natalya.
I'll tell you right now, though. Did you happen to catch when the Iconics, the girl,
Peyton?
No, the other one, the one who walked
Billie
up.
Kay.
Billie Kay, thank you. I couldn't remember that. She walked up with that photo. Now she was trying to recruit Carmella last week on SmackDown. But she's like, I got a partner, but then she said, but I have alternate plans too. I think the Iconics are getting back together on Saturday.
It was stupid to split them up in the first place.
Agreed.
Yes.
The way she said that, though, was like, okay, they're going to be in this match as a surprise, and I think they're winning, and they're going on to Sunday to face Nia and Shayna. Maybe winning the titles.
Fine. You need to put Shayna away from everybody else.
You need to break Shayna away from Nia and put her on her own as a killer again, like she was against Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Maybe not biting her neck, but
That was dope.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but
that was crazy television.
Yeah, I think they need to make her go against. I don't know if Rhea's going to win the title, but she could definitely challenge for some title.
Yeah, Rhea's going to win that title.
Yeah, but they need to They need to rehab Shayna though before they put her in the title feud.
Which
I think.
Is crap though, because I feel like
talent
you could get a lot of mileage out of Oscar and Rhea.
You could, and maybe you do a rematch, like a Backlash or whatever they do.
Yeah, and then throw Shayna in there at some point. You know what I mean? Like you.
Yeah, it's rough in the women's division in WWE.
It is,
especially the tag team women's division, which is
again
it's getting better with the teams they've at least constructed. But
yeah,
I'll give them that.
There's only one set of women's tag titles, right?
Yeah, for now. Yeah. No, there's an NXT. NXT has some too, I think.
Oh yeah, I forgot they added.
They just recently.
Damn it! I was gonna suggest that they should just do a thing where it's like those belts can go from.
Well, they were doing that before NXT, I guess, created their own.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can understand NXT having their own titles, but I still think Raw and SmackDown need to merge all their titles and divisions and just
together.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, I understand that it's happened before, and people complain, "Oh, we need to split the roster." You got too big of a, But right now, it seems like they're having a hard time writing for so many different characters. It might do some good. I especially think the women's division and the tag team division needs to merge because, especially in the men's tag team division doesn't have much at all.
Tag team division.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
It's the New Day
tag team division
and the Street Profits. I mean, no, I think SmackDown they're trying to get a little better with it. They turned Otis heel and he's teaming with Chad Gable, and
which is actually it's
better.
Really solid tag team. I actually like them.
I still wish they'd bring back Chad's old partner with American Alpha.
Jason Jordan.
Yeah, Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle to manage him, and then maybe bring Tucker into the mix, and then you really
Jordan, as far as I understand,
he may be done. I don't know.
Isn't he? Yeah, isn't he in backstage stuff?
Yeah, he's I think a producer right now. Due to his, I think, neck injury.
And even if you can't do Jason Jordan,
Shelton Benjamin back in there.
And I don't know if they'll bring Angle back, but I thought there was a really missed opportunity to not have Angle manage American Alpha.
Paired Gable and Benjamin up as a heel tag team, and
they were for a while, and then they weren't.
Speaking of Benjamin, I thought this backstage segment where Benjamin and Alexander confronted MVP. I thought that was really well done on Cedric and Shelton's part, and of course MVP played like that. Yeah, he played his part as well.
MVP is crushing it right now.
Yeah, and is he what's wrong with him? I know he's got that cane he's been walking around. Is it a gimmick or is he really hurt? They called him a cripple in this.
Yeah, he did.
Cripple ass. Yeah. But either I don't know. It may just be kind of like I'm a Godfather type thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I have to look it up. But
I'm not sure.
If he's actually hurt him.
But anyway, that led into Cedric Alexander versus Bobby Lashley.
Which was decent.
Yeah, it was decent. Again, it was just a showcase for Bobby Lashley to really look strong going into the main event.
The shit out of him.
Yeah.
Dude.
And they all played their part. Yeah.
The one spot, the first time he did it, when he had him up on his shoulders, like fireman carry, and then he runs him into the LED board on the ring post, I thought Lashley smacked his head because there was this much room between him and the post, his face in the post, and I was like, did you just smack himself like a damn thing?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But he ran full force too. Like he didn't go back. He ran it over.
Yeah. Alrighty. What was after that? I don't know if there was any more segments backstage. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. But
no, I think that was it.
I think that was. But we then got Riddle versus Mustapha. Is that how they pronounce it? Mustapha. I know that's what. But I think the commentators say Mustapha or.
I think they're pronouncing it Mustapha.
Yeah. So Riddle versus Mustapha Ali. Sheamus was at commentary as well. And once again, I wasn't lying last night. They had the birdies coming out of Riddle's feet. Brandon didn't hear me, but the birdies coming out of Riddle's feet is a thing.
Oh, I seen them.
Finally saw it.
So that happened. I'm like, what's it? Miranda's sitting there, and I go, no way. He does the thing. The birds come flying out, and commentators go, oh.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
They're not really there. You're not even seeing them.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is maybe because the flip flops go flying, maybe flying led to birds. I don't know. Some sort of brainstorm meeting that went wrong. But
I don't know, man. And this is what irritates me. Give me a second here.
Okay.
This is what irritates me. Matt Riddle is a fighter, correct?
Legit MMA star.
Yeah.
But we give him this, like Tony said last night.
RVD
2.0.
A lot more cheesy. Well, at times RVD was at times.
Yeah, but RVD still got business done in the ring.
Yeah, right. And so does Riddle.
But there's this real. There's so many other avenues you could have chose with Riddle. Why this one? You know what I'm saying? Because like he could have been a credible threat to any title, but yet we got to go with this stoner gimmick.
Right. And I thought these two had a good match, but
it was a solid match.
There was a point in this match, though, I thought Riddle was overselling. I don't know if you caught him going,
yeah, his facials, though, sometimes.
Granted, but it was like, are you overdoing it right now, or is it just me being nitpicky? But
no,
maybe not me. Well, even so, I think he ended up hitting the Bro Derek for the win.
That was a nice looking Bro Derek.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Ali's still good too.
He got bogged down with the fucking whatever the fuck they're called.
But you could have done so much more with Retribution.
They had that was dead on arrival when they gave them damn stupid names.
Yeah, that too.
T-Bar.
Retribution could have been. You remember before NXT was NXT, you remember the Nexus or whatever?
The game show.
You could have had Nexus 2.0 in the vein of like you had this people who came from NXT and wanted to prove something to the main roster.
Destroyed the biggest star in John Cena on live television.
Yeah. Instead you made him to a joke. Look what happened when Kevin Owens showed up. You know, who do you go after? The biggest star.
Cena.
The biggest star there. And then to give them Mustafa Ali and give Mustafa this mean streak was also a killer idea. But then you don't do anything with it. They lose every opportunity you give. They just lose. And it's like, what was the point?
Right. Well, to me, in this match, I thought that Riddle, again, looked like a dumb babyface. Because there was a point in this match on the outside where Sheamus was on commentary. Riddle picks up his hat, puts it on, and then he gets clocked from behind by Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you deserve... Like, Sheamus even said it on camera. You deserve that. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he picks up Sheamus's hat. Like, why are you... You shouldn't be worried about Sheamus.
If you're a smart babyface, focus on the match. Get him Saturday or whatever the match is. Saturday or Sunday, I don't know. But
because knowing that if he were to interfere, you'd win the match.
Yeah.
Your babyface should be more focused on the task at hand than anything else. Regardless of the fact that whoever's out there, he should be focused on his match. Nothing else matters to him. And that is something that is brought up in the main event, and I'll talk about it when we get there.
And I mean, I get trying to build the feud or build the match on WrestleMania weekend, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the right way to go about it.
There's other way. You don't have to do it in the middle of a match.
Yeah. And then look like a complete moron or an idiot or.
That's my biggest pet peeve. It's gonna sound contradicting, but when it comes to that kind of like the silly stuff or like the nonsensical stuff, there has to be some logic to it.
Yeah.
Like Kofi being, I'll just say it's silly by throwing a mic at a brick wall here.
Which was
funny.
That
was goofy as shit.
Yeah.
That was like, I mean, there's no point to it other than to get maybe a few chuckles out of the fans. But it was still logical because it was like,
what are you doing against that big man?
I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Chuck the mic at it.
And the one thing, WWE fan...
I just want logic in my wrestling.
Right.
Even in the nonsensical stuff, I want to be able to, even if I have to search for it, I want to find the logic
and
behind what they're doing.
I think every wrestling company would be smart to realize that even if you give us nonsensical stuff like complete silliness, as long as there's some logic in the storytelling, we're willing to forgive that more
Yeah.
as an audience. So
because it's still about being entertained at the end of the day.
yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes comedy
It's fine.
in wrestling is entertaining still. You can still get
Well,
chuckles
like the
and-
Riddle thing. Like if he had, he done the whole rope hang thing where the two ropes are intertwined, and he's got Ali in that, and then he goes taunt Sheamus.
Ali's
He's him
preoccupied at
thinking
the
that
moment.
he's okay. He's taking care of her right now. Then he goes taunt Sheamus, and then just out of nowhere he does it. I feel fine with that, because at that point Riddle logically is thinking he's taken care of. I can go taunt him while he's tied up in the ropes.
Or save it for the end of the match. You win the
That
match,
too.
then get out of the ring and confront Sheamus or
Punch your ass off.
and then get hit. You know what I'm saying? But not in the middle of a match where you know the dude isn't beaten, but
Exactly.
And Sheamus is just sitting there on commentary. First of all,
Mhm.
why is it his job to provoke him? Like that shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, because they've done that as well. They'll have the guy on commentary go up to the ring and provoke him.
Yeah.
At least in
But
this
as a
case,
heel,
Sheamus is a heel.
That's your
but-
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
But for Riddle just to do it for the lulz is just ridiculous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll talk about another instance where commentary happened when we get to the main event. And
Well,
I like what he did in this.
To be honest, I think we're. I don't know. Again, if there's other backstage stuff, I don't have it. I don't recall anything important. Do you?
Think anything else happened?
Okay, because the next
Well,
thing.
no.
What was there?
Oh
was
yeah,
some-
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. No.
Well, I was just gonna say because the next thing on my list is the main event.
Well, okay, no. So Bad Bunny and Priest come out.
Oh yeah, and again,
He cut a good.
I thought Bad
decent
Bunny.
promo, man.
Tony may talk about this tomorrow on our Hall of Fame coverage. Where I think he may give his thoughts on Raw real quick. We're not going to watch the Hall of Fame, but we will at least discuss the careers of some of the entries. But Bad Bunny started speaking Spanish during this thing, and Tony's like, somebody needs to hit the Spanish button to kind of interpret. But
no,
all things considered, he cut a very emotional promo. I thought better than Damian Priest.
The first half of his promo, he cut in English.
Yeah,
and then he recited what he said in English in Spanish.
Oh, it was just a repeat. Okay, if that's the case, got it. Okay.
So he covered his bases in that situation because he is Puerto Rican.
Right, and that makes sense to
Covered
speak
the
to,
demo.
Yeah. I don't speak Spanish, so I had no idea it was the same stuff.
Then he went back to saying, he doesn't know where we're from, and then he listed off, where they're from, and I enjoyed his promo. I thought his promo
I thought he cut a better promo than Damian Priest did. I don't know what it was, maybe, but Priest didn't cut
because it's not about Priest, which again,
it may again he's kind of a third wheel here a little bit, but he just didn't seem either into it or something was a little off. It's not that he can't. Right
at this point, this feud has nothing to do with him.
Agreed.
Nope.
Yeah. But
he's Bad Bunny's tag partner.
Yeah, and I think he'll probably shine a bit in the match for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, but
and that's what I was talking to Miranda and Deb about too. I said I can forgive all the silliness and all this that leads up to it because I know when the bell rings, the people in that ring will do their job.
Absolutely.
And then I'll be entertained that way.
Yeah.
So
and that's all that really matters WrestleMania week. A lot of the build just kind of falls away once the WrestleMania starts, and it's about what you do on the show. Yes. And I think that's one thing that's really good about Mania. All right, so the main event was Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin. Again, I think they both worked hard. I'm not sold on Corbin really, but I think Drew made him look better.
He plays his role.
Agreed, and he plays his role well. I mean, and I think that's why they like Corbin. But I think they both men kind of exchanged near falls a lot. It was actually a pretty good main event for a Raw, which again I think has been better than most Raws lately. It's a good thing too because that's the go home show to Mania.
But I mean, it's also a very low bar to set.
Agreed, absolutely.
That's a low bar.
I will say this: MVP on commentary was great.
And I think he did a whole show either last week or the week before, and he was really good at that too, at commentary.
He also was telling Corbin what Riddle should be listening to.
Take him out,
Keep your eyes on the prize. He said, why is he taunting right now? Why is he showboating? He goes, he's not done. Stay focused. There's no reason another heel should be telling another heel to stay focused.
Do a heel thing.
Yeah, don't showboating and you beat the face down and now you're like, yeah, grandstanding.
Right.
And then but Riddle should have took his advice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stay focused, because otherwise you're gonna get punched in the back of the head.
See, this was a match where I'll give him credit. Drew McIntyre stayed focused.
Yes.
And he won the match with that, what I thought was a great looking Claymore as well. And of course,
and all the Claymores are great. What are we talking about?
Right,
This
right.
is one of my most
As
favorite moves.
as long as he's slapping the thigh. But even if he doesn't, but I think it's better when he does. But yeah, so
what was it last year around Mania? He was doing the countdown with the fans.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they got rid of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because
I mean, it wasn't bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like
it got him to interact with the fan.
Yeah,
but you know it's coming, and you just want it to happen.
I think it should be more like a silent thing, kind of like a sweet chip music thing. Maybe he's in the corner, just
Yeah, but later on in Shawn Michaels' career, even when he started tuning up the band, you get people to stomp with
right
before he does it. It's the same thing with Roman Reigns' spear,
or like Daniel doing the yes in the corner.
Yeah,
he hits the
it's one of those things where like you get involved because you're that invested in that certain character.
It gets Roman the fans involved in the show.
Roman being a heel now, no matter what, when he ooh-ahs, everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can boo him the whole
They may
match.
boo the whole time with the ooh-ah too.
But they'll ooh-ah their asses off.
Fuck, I'll do it as well. I don't care.
Yeah, what they're doing with Roman is absolutely great. So I hope they don't. Did you get to say what you wanted to say, Brandon, about the main event?
Yeah, it was just simply the whole thing with MVP telling Corbin to stay focused, to keep your eye on your task in front of you. Don't go grandstanding when you know the dude isn't beat. That's what I'm saying. Like, every face should have that mentality no matter what. You stay focused on what's happening in the ring. Everything else is an afterthought. You know what I mean? You don't worry about what's going on. You stay focused on your task. And I think that's one of the things that bother me, especially with these distraction finishes.
Yeah, which is another one. Yeah.
Because you make your babyface look so stupid.
At least in this case, it was the heel that looked stupid, but
that's his job. He's supposed to look.
Right.
The babyface is all you're supposed to be outsmarting the heels, and I know there are smart heels who. I mean, Ric Flair made his career out of being a smart ass heel.
Fucking Randy Orton.
Yeah,
which by the way was interesting. Well, they had a promo.
Oh my god,
you finally saw the build of that. But I mean, they were absent from the show, but they did have a build to or show the recap of the build to the Orton feed match.
So they show the whole clip, right? The video package, and she goes, "Who the hell's that?" And I said, "Bray." And she goes, "Why does he look like that?" I was like, "Because he got set on fire." And she goes, I don't like it.
I told her, Becca, it's like, yeah, because I think I was running through the card for her. And I brought up, it was the Bray Randy match. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's Burnt Marshmallow Bray.
And I'll say like I did last night.
And she looked him up and she's like,
Yeah, Brandon was like,
no.
I don't like it.
And I'll say what I did last night. I still think Alexa Bliss is doing the best with what she's given.
Killing it.
She's got this, and I think she's a fan anyway, but she's got this creepy Harley Quinn thing going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which I really, as a comic book fan, DC and everything, I really appreciate the work she's putting in.
Well, that's the thing. Even like a lot of people don't like Alexa.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, she is in-ring ability. It's gotten better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her character work is just
her character
like
work
top
is
tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Top tier character work. And I think a lot of people put that to the side because of the in-ring ability isn't really at that level.
And I mean this with the most sincere, purest form, but her facials are really good when it comes to. I know that sounds bad, but she has good.
Can I get a rephrasing on that there, Eric?
Nope.
I knew it was going to sound bad, but I said
I'm clipping that alone. Just that part. And his face when he said it. Like,
can I get a rephrase?
No, I'm going to gift that one.
But what I mean is she's really good at acting through
Her
her
facial
her facial expressions and her mannerisms are really well done. And so, but yeah.
Like, that's one of the reasons Alexa's always been like, you know, like a what's the phrase? Guilty pleasure favorite.
All right, y'all just making this shit weird.
Moving on. But yes.
Hold on.
Okay.
Also, Randy Orton's he's killing it in this situation as well.
Yeah, I think he's doing as best he can with what he has to work with too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're taking something like you had to work without a guy for months, but tell the story as if he's there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Which is what makes this most intriguing, because I don't know how this thing is going to go at Mania.
Nobody was sure how the whole Fiend thing was going to work in the first place, but yet Bray made it work. So, as much as we poo-poo on the new Fiend look,
burnt marshmallow.
I'm sure Bray has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, let's hope so.
As long as Vince is letting him do it, I mean, that's the only. I feel the only reason the Fiend worked is because it was his. From what I've heard,
it was his.
From what I've heard and all that, it was Vince actually just let Bray run with it. And to probably no one's surprise, if you actually let your creative stars run with what they have,
they hit it out of the park.
Typically good.
But also there are some times where you're just like, oh, this is trash.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. That's why you don't let everyone do it. You let like the Brays, Roman with probably Paul's help.
Yeah, Paul. But see,
Paul's had some hit and miss.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Not yeah.
But again, that's with the whole depending on who it is.
Yeah.
Because Paul teamed up with Curtis Axel?
Yeah, was it Curtis Axel?
I'm pretty sure it was Axel. And that kind of fell flat on its face.
Yeah, man, you can't. Not everybody.
I'm sorry, I kind of blamed Curtis for that one.
Dear God.
Well, to put a bow on Raw here, though, after the match was over with McIntyre winning, Bobby Lashley come out on the ramp, held up the belt, your typical go-home show ending to where they're staring
Was there
at each
any
other.
obligatory sign pointing?
There were a couple.
If they weren't pointing, it was probably definitely in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
Drew, you know.
I want to say this too.
Which,
when anybody does an interview with somebody in the back and there's a screen involved, like they're watching the screen.
They always have the weird ass angle.
Why do they stand sideways?
I love how AEW ripped on that a few times.
Oh yeah, what the fuck, Brian?
Why do you stand sideways? Who watches
TV like that? Yeah.
It's
bad for the neck.
I guess technically plug another wrestling channel. Wrestling with Regret, Brian Zane, he has, like, when he's doing his reviews for it, he'll have that as a background image with the video playing on the TV screen.
Like, I don't understand that.
It's fucking hilarious.
Right.
Why do you stand like that? Like, just look at the screen normally.
I mean,
and then when the interviewer comes up to you, turn around, address them, and then turn back. Like, why is it this shit?
I think
because you can't have the audience looking at the back of the head. That's just kind of weird.
WWE has this thing with their productions where, especially in this case, they want them to be facing the camera so you get to see them, in the shot.
That's not natural.
I agree, it's not natural.
Well, it's not natural, yeah. But
I just want to put this.
It's a production thing.
I just want to put this out there. By the way, I don't know if anybody from WWE is listening. I hope to God, if Kevin Dunn and whoever's doing this stops with the constant camera cuts. 17 and 17 seconds, or I counted one night on a main event, there was 160 some camera cuts between the last commercial break and the end of the show in one match, and that wasn't even the full match. Zooming in and out.
It's the short attention spans.
It makes me want to have a seizure. I mean, I'm sorry.
I can tell you why he does it. It's not. He's doing it to add essentially drama to it. Look at TV shows. Look at TV shows that do that kind of stuff.
They zoom in.
They cut the camera cuts, the zoom ins, the zoom out.
It makes the impacts look more intense.
Exactly. It's the TV production side of the damn business.
A part of me thinks, though, part of the reason why they do it, the zooming in and the camera cuts, is to hide the weaknesses of the performers too.
Exactly.
Well, magician
not always, but
show you his hand all the time.
Yeah.
You can't know what I'm calling.
It's a lot like a magic act. You don't. It's sleight of hand, something too. And I get
that,
it.
or Kevin Dunn's big ass teeth are pushing buttons before he knows it.
in the back like a monkey on a keyboard, just smacking bucking buttons.
Yeah. But anyway, if you guys have any other thoughts before we end the stream tonight?
No, okay. So overall, honestly, for this is probably the first Raw I've watched in
a year.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, we follow wrestling enough to know what's going on, but sometimes we don't always watch the shows 100% through. That's why we're going to do weekly recaps.
I know I didn't watch a damn second of Raw tonight, but from my opinion, from not seeing it and from you listening to you guys, it sounds better than what I've been seeing on like Twitter and shit.
I mean, we still like professional wrestling when it's done well, but we're going to keep up with what's going on and report and about that and talk about our thoughts about what's actually happening. But there may be certain times where some of us haven't seen the whole shows all the way through. I try to watch as much as possible, but it's a lot to keep up with too. I mean, especially this week with WrestleMania, there's so much.
3 fucking hours.
Yeah, on Monday every week.
That's another thing too, man. Like I working and you gotta watch 3 hours of this.
It takes your whole life.
It's good. Fine, cool. But like some of the shenaniganery, I'm over it.
No.
And that's in wrestling in general.
To put that into perspective, everyone's shitting on Snyder's cut for being 4 hours. Raw's only an hour less.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know about that shit.
Again, at least with the Snyder cut, it's broken into chapters. I guess if you count commercial breaks, Raw's broken up, but still.
That's a long time to watch a movie.
But we will definitely, keep up with what's going on. So at least you guys don't think we're
the hours. I've watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. But anyway, if you guys ain't got any further thoughts, I guess we'll end the stream here.
No, it wasn't that bad, though.
No, it was actually, to me, I think was the better Raw over the last bit. And thank goodness, because they needed one going into the big show. And hopefully the rest of the week. I think NXT is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Are we doing it?
Yeah, I think the plan is to do a stream tomorrow night for the Hall of Fame. Or Tuesday night for the Hall of Fame. Probably put it up maybe either late Tuesday or early Wednesday. And then we're going to do one for night 1, night 2 of NXT, and then probably Friday SmackDown, and then the watch-alongs Saturday and Sunday. And then after that, it'll probably be just once a week. And then but that should be enough to do constant content for the channel weekly. We can break up our weekly podcast and if nothing else, release it over.
Probably Saturdays. That way we get Raw, NXT.
Well, I talked
SmackDown.
Well, I talked to Brennan about this. If I have a family thing where I got to go out of town, I can't do weekends. To me, we talk Thursday just because the only wrestling going on that night is Impact, and I don't think we're really going to cover Impact a whole lot. But I mean, we're open to discussing when to do it. But maybe just sometimes I won't be able to take a part of it if it's on the weekends. But yeah, and we can work on all that. But once a week is what we're kind of eyeballing, I think, at this point. So. So, all right, guys. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you liked what you heard or saw here, if you're watching it on YouTube, please hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Hit comment below. Let us know what you thought of Raw. And until next time, we'll talk at you guys later.
Yeah, he said hit the subscribe.